Happy New Year, people. Welcome back to yet another exciting episode of The Star Maker, and it's a new year, 2022. Happy New Year, people. Thank you so much for loving us, for subscribing to our channel, and for watching all these beautiful stories as we tell the stories of fashion Africa. And on this particular episode, I will be talking to that young girl who has now literally transformed into being, a business mogul. One of the leading top models that Uganda has ever had. And this girl paved ways of so many young African models that are working at the moment. She took a leap of faith and jumped onto that bus. Jumped into that bus, 16 hours on road, and headed all the way to Nairobi. Auditioned for Africa's Next Top Model, and just like they say, the rest is history. She won the competition and packed her bags and moved to New York in 2014. And 8 years later, she's one of the strongest forces in the world right now in the business of modeling and fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, the queen herself, AAMITO Lagum. Hi, AAMITO.
What an introduction. Hi, Jerome. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. So 8 years later, you took a leap of faith and boarded that bus to go to Nairobi, 16 hours on the road, without even thinking, what if Tebantwala? How was it?
It was intense. I mean, you remember. It was intense, but like for me, it was the only plan that I had. I think I heard this from Steve Harvey or someone who said there's only plan A, and if that plan fails, you create another plan A. And yeah, so that was my plan A, and that's the leap of faith that I took, and I went for it.
And it worked out.
Yeah.
So 8 years later, you're still working as a professional fashion model in New York, Paris, London, Milan, like literally just sweeping away everything. Tell us, how has the journey been like so far?
It's been great. I don't want to be someone who complains, because I think I've been really blessed, and I've been really blessed to continually work, even like. It's crazy because it's such a competitive industry.
Absolutely.
So lots of girls just work for a year or two, and then they're not
gone.
They're not booked anymore. But I've constantly been working since 2014, for the last 8 years, and I am so grateful. I am so grateful.
Super proud of you. And I like the fact that you broke the stereotype of, top model girls don't make it as, successful top models. Because we've seen so many girls that win, top model, and you just hear about them 1 or 2 seasons. What has been your winning policy for you to stay relevant, to work for all these 8 years?
I think it's because I am my only competition, and I always believe that I am my only competition. So my goal always is to be better than I was yesterday. So if yesterday I got, 2 jobs, the next day I want to get 3. And I think that's been my driving force, to just kind of like be better than the person that I was yesterday, and not look on the sidelines to because you get distracted.
Absolutely.
Right? You do get distracted with everything that goes on. But just try and keep really grounded, and just be better than the person I was the day before.
Fantastic. So to the young girls and young boys that are watching you right now, in 2014, you absolutely packed your bags, left Uganda, and then, because that's when you won the competition, and then moved to New York, the culture shock.
Yes.
How has it been like working in the biggest fashion global capitals of the world, like New York, Paris, London, Milan? Meanwhile, Asiba Kunyoni, 24/7.
Yes. I mean, it's been really educational. Like, I've learned a lot. In my humble opinion, I think travel is the best education you can give someone, so people can see the different things out there. So because of that, because of what I do for work, I've been able to learn so much, even just beyond fashion itself, like in different aspects of life, like how to run my business, because as a model, you're in business for yourself.
Yes, I like that.
So how to run my business as a fashion model, or even like venture into other things, I've been learning, and I always call myself a student.
Nice.
So always learning, always learning.
And that's very important. So to you who's watching, please be teachable.
Yes.
Don't make it and feel like, oh my God, I have arrived.
Yeah.
Always make sure you are ready to learn.
Yes.
And then you were the first model of color, if I am
Yes.
right, to, you know, open for Balenciaga under Alexander Wang.
Yes.
I think that was around 2015 when you had just started.
Yes.
What did that mean to your career as a fashion model?
I mean, that was a really great boost, you know. After opening for Balenciaga, I mean, I got a lot of campaigns after, you know, I got Marc Jacobs,
Yes.
you remember. I worked a lot with like really top stylists and I did a lot of editorials. I think, you know, that kind of like helped my career towards like a positive direction. So yeah, it boosted me a lot, but like I said, like just one thing only doesn't make you,
Really,
you know, yeah, it
really,
doesn't make
yeah.
you the biggest model. It's just like the little things put together. Like when you bring them all together, that is what
They add up to
sort of
something really, really big.
Exactly.
I loved that. And
Yeah.
you were like the queen of editorials.
Yes.
Like she literally shot for everything, right?
Yes.
From Vogue, Days, Elle, you know, Marie Claire, Allure, and then, you know, she booked so many covers as well.
Yeah.
How important is it for fashion models out there to actually get these editorials?
It's a business, and in businesses there's like little things that you have to do. I think, you know, it is important to do editorials and to do shows, especially at the beginning of your careers, even in the middle. Those are important because those put you on the radar
Sure.
for clients, for people to see that, okay, she's working, this is how she looks like. And it's also really good practice for when you book like, you know, those
The big campaigns, yes.
the big campaigns. And the reason that's why I really like editorials is because it's a creative process with
Sure.
everyone, right?
Sure.
So you get to also showcase, as a fashion model, you get to showcase your posing style and things like that. So yeah, it's great. It's important.
Absolutely amazing. And then you walked all the biggest shows in the world. Like literally, she walked everything. I would
Yeah.
say everything, but when I say everything, just the top tier shows. What are some of those favorite moments that you remember as
Yeah.
a showgirl, and some of those biggest shows that you walked and you felt like, yes,
Yeah.
I have, you know, I've arrived.
I always try not to feel like I've arrived. Obviously, one of the biggest shows that I first walked with Balenciaga, and I opened the show. But I've walked for really beautiful shows. Like one of my favorite was The Row. I don't know if you
Yes.
yeah. I really loved the brand, and I loved the show. It was just so beautiful. I also loved Burberry. The times that I walked for them,
They have magical shows.
they do have,
absolutely
yeah,
magical
they're
shows.
so beautiful, and the
Yes.
music, like, yeah, it was so beautiful. I mean, I can't remember all of them off
Yes,
of my
'cause
head.
there's so
yeah,
many.
but
Yes.
yeah, they were just beautiful experiences.
Yes, and now the transition from being a showgirl and editorial girl to a top campaign girl. Because girl, I have literally watched your career right from the start.
Yeah.
And now I've noticed you don't do so many shows.
Yes.
But at the moment, it's either H&M, it's Victoria's Secret, it's top tier campaigns.
Yes.
How has the transition been like so far?
I think my goals kind of like changed a little. Like, you know, I wanted to do more commercial. And so I started to sort of like position myself in ways that I could be able to do commercial things. So yeah, I don't do a lot of shows anymore unless it's like a direct booking or whatever. But I really love that I am doing
The biggest job.
Yeah,
The jobs that pay the bills.
yeah, the jobs that pay the bills. So yes,
Exactly.
I love those jobs. And to be honest with you, like those jobs are not jobs you could be like, like shouting jobs, but like I'm so happy with those jobs. I know they're not jobs like, oh my God, she's worked for
Exactly.
YS.
But I mean, they're huge.
Yeah.
They bring in the, you know,
Yeah.
top dollar. Yes.
Yeah, I love where I'm at right now, to be honest. Yeah.
Now that you've been in the business for the past 8 years and you're still going, I've realized that so many models go through, you know, depression, anxiety, mental health issues. How do you keep your mental health stable, AAMITO?
Stable is an interesting word.
Because I know it's very hard.
It
it's
is so
absolutely
hard.
hard.
I mean, we've had these conversations together, I think, where, you know, I'm depressed and I don't feel, you know.
Do you ever get depressed?
Absolutely. You know, absolutely you get depressed and you have to seek for help, you know, because you can't do it yourself. But, you know, like there's times when I got depressed and I was able to talk to my agents and they got me a therapist, you know, someone to sort of like help you figure out what's happening in your brain. We go through them and for me, I just look at it as a phase, like it's gonna pass, it's gonna go away. And I always keep that at the back of my mind, but it's not easy. You know, modeling and fashion and all other professions, different professions, they have their pros and cons.
Absolutely.
And
I like the fact that you say that, because so many people that are watching you, everyone believes that it's just the covers, it's just the campaigns. They don't see the other side of it.
Yeah, they don't see the back side of it. But yeah, like every profession has its pros and cons, just like fashion does. And so you just kind of like, if you love your job like I do love mine, you sort of have to keep going and also ask for help, you know, when you feel stuck. Because I remember it was 2019 when I had a really rough time. I felt really stuck. I didn't feel like doing modeling anymore. But yeah, I did get a therapist, I did seek for help, and just taking each moment, you know, day by day. And grounding myself. I think, you know, grounding myself, coming back to my roots, like having conversations with you, having conversations with my friends back home here, and little things like that. They really put everything into perspective and they really help. Yeah. That's
absolutely amazing. But I strongly believe that it also takes a very strong personality. It takes, you know, a lot of energy for someone to say, let me just fight through and, you know, just keep going. So how is it important to fashion models out there that are watching to have a strong personality like yours, because she's like the queen of personality?
I think ask for help. Don't be afraid to say, okay, listen, I need help. Ask for help, because there are some things that you really can't figure out on your own. And I think especially here, like I didn't know about depression or mental health. Because
like, to be realistic, it's almost like a taboo here in Africa. The minute you tell someone, you know what, my mental health is not that stable, they're like, something like that.
Yes, but that's not the case. But I think we should make it very okay for people to be like, listen, I don't feel stable right now, you know, and I need help. We should make it okay and be able to help those people who ask for help. So I think I'm so grateful that I was able to ask for help and I was able to be given help, you know, because sometimes you might ask for help and then someone doesn't even know what to do.
Exactly.
So yeah, I asked for help. I saw a couple of therapists, you know, I did things, I took a little bit of time off as well. And I did things that sort of like reminded me of why I love my job, reminded me of why I moved to New York in the first place, even reminded me of why I took that bus, that 16-hour bus in the first place. So yeah, little things like that sort of brought everything into perspective. And yeah, we're here today.
I love that. I feel like you're speaking to me. And I'm sure you're speaking to so many young girls, so many young boys out there that feel like, you know, this is just a bed of roses, you know, New York, Paris, London and Milan, planes and then all that. But there's so much that happens. Absolutely. So the conversation is, I want us to talk about inclusiveness, diversity, and, you know, the standards of beauty in this industry. Because I've actually realized that ever since you started modeling, you'll actually realize that the standards of beauty have kept, you know, changing. But there's that whole thing of, you know, girls have to stay skinny. They must look a certain type of way. Then how do we break these stereotypes to make sure that we have so many more models from Africa actually making it on the global scale?
You know what? I really don't know the answer to that question because I don't know, again, like for myself, as you can see, when I went to New York in 2014, I was like a size 0.
I remember.
And now I am a size 6. And I'm thankfully still working and I'm still getting booked, fingers crossed, you know? And I can't even tell you how it's happening. I don't know, but I think I also, one of the things that I really do is I really do believe in my ability to accomplish whatever I put my mind to, right? I believe in my ability to sort of like believe in myself and sort of push forward and like push, and like push for the things that I would like to accomplish. And I think that that's one of the things that's sort of helping me, even when, you know, I'm not that skinny anymore, like I'm still able to book jobs and be really busy. Because I feel like even nowadays I'm more busy than I was when I was when I was skinnier.
And I like that because it's going to give a lot of hope to so many African girls.
And I think the standards of beauty, like you say, they are changing. Like people are realizing, listen, like you can't stay the same size forever.
Absolutely.
You know, I was younger then. My body,
you grow up.
Yeah, you grow up. You know, my body has changed. Like a lot of things have happened the last 8 years where my body has changed, and sometimes it's not even in my control. Like there's nothing I can do about the hormones, you know. So you just kind of like have to believe in yourself and keep pushing for your goals, and if your body changes, and also find people who sort of believe in you, or who are able to accept the change that is happening in you. I think that's really important, and you know, that's why I'm now with a new agency, as you know, sort of like, because now they see, you know, like I'm not skinny anymore, so they understand. And
they know how to push you. They know that the type of jobs that you will do.
You know, which clients to push me to. And yeah, I think people are a little bit more now open-minded, and just like because of the internet again, you know, and giving us a voice. Like we know our body changes. When your body changes, do you stop working? No.
It's an amazing conversation. Absolutely, super amazing conversation. Like we could literally just have the entire episode just
talking about change and everything that happens when change happens. You know, and how you adapt and how you move forward with that. And I think one of the things for me that brought depression is because of my body and how it was changing and how I couldn't be able to sort of like control it, you know, because I work out, I used to work out a lot, and you know, I was good at dieting and doing all the things that I needed to do, but there came a point where even when I did those things, nothing was happening.
Just said no.
You know, you know, I had to get surgery and all these things, and it's just life. It's just life, and that happens. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to get clients who understand that life happens. People's bodies change, especially as a woman, right? So yeah, so here we are.
No one talks about these things. Like everyone is just glam, glam, glam. It's all campaign, 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 ABCD.
It is an emotional business because there's a lot more rejection than acceptance. Like, and the things that people see are just the acceptance part. They don't, it's 80% rejection, 80% rejection and 20% acceptance. And like, I don't know how many jobs I've not done. You know how many jobs you put on and then they cancel
just like because option, and they cancel at the last
and then
minute,
cancels it because, I don't know, your hip is half an inch big.
I like the fact that now there's that movement.
For example, like me, like I was skinny, I was a size 0, but like I'm now growing into like a different size, you know, and still being able to work with whatever size that I'm in, which I think not a lot of people see, and it's not shown. They only show the skinny, and then if you're not skinny, then you're kicked out, you know.
But I'm so grateful to, you know, agencies out there that see beyond just the size, that see beyond, you know, how the girl looks like, and then
clients.
Even clients, and then they just start focusing on, you know, what does the girl bring to the table, what does she stand for, what does she advocate for, and I like the fact that that's what you're doing right now.